It's Brisbane's tunnel vision, an underground dream come true. Not only is CLEM7 Brisbane's first major tunnel, it's Australia's longest tunnel. But significantly, it's also claimed to be the nation's safest tunnel.
I think Australian tunnels are safe, tend to be safe by world standards, but we've actually got more features than any other tunnel in Australia. For example, this is the first tunnel in Australia that's got a smoke vent on the top, so that should there be an incident, we can open the vents and take all the smoke straight out of the tunnel into the roof section and then exhaust it into the air.
This is CLEM7's engine room, the control room, the nerve centre, with enough hard drive to monitor the entire 4 kilometre plus length for any eventuality. Those who helped design it say it's high tech and then some.
I suppose one way to look at it is a living, breathing entity.
We put it to the test. Here's a scenario. Imagine I'm driving through the tunnel. All of a sudden, the car breaks down. Then I notice there's smoke coming from under the bonnet. It's not looking too good. Well, every 60 metres along the tunnel, there's one of these, an emergency phone. I can call for help.
CLEM7 control room, Darren speaking. How can I help you?
Well, at the moment it's just smoke, but there's a lot of it.
We did notice the smoke, so what we'll do now is evacuate that particular tube that you're in.
Beauty, thanks mate, I'll get going.
If there was confirmed fire, I would be dumping deluge onto the scene. Deluge is the sprinkler system within the tube, and that has a capacity to dump 50,000 litres of water per second onto a fire incident.
If there is an emergency and you have to evacuate, there are plenty of options. Every 120 metres along the tunnel, there's one of these. It's a cross passage. It's simply a matter of sliding open the door, walking through the cross passage. It's only about 10 metres. Then there's another door. Slide that open and you're out in the other tunnel. You can also play a part if things do go wrong.
On the right-hand side of the carriageway, every 60 metres on the fast lane, we have an emergency equipment cabinet. The mere fact of opening that door has triggered an alarm in the control centre and has brought closed-circuit television cameras onto this location to alert the operator that someone's had a need to access the emergency equipment cabinet. In here, for motorists, there's a 36-metre hose reel, plus there'll be 2 fire extinguishers in there as well.
CLEM7 has a safety mantra. It's called the 3 L's. The 3 L's, can you tell us about that?
Stay in your lane. Obviously, one of the important things in driving through the tunnel is choose your lane early. If you're needing to exit at Shaftesbury Avenue or Pacific Motorway, make sure you're in the correct lane. Lights on as you're driving through the tunnel. Whilst it has its own lighting system, we encourage motorists to ensure they have their lights on once they're driving through the tunnel, particularly if they're coming out at night time. They're used to driving through a well-lit environment and coming out onto a dark road, so make sure they get their lights on and listen to the radio. The top 12 FM and top 9 AM stations in the Brisbane area have a break-in frequency where any vehicle travelling in the tunnel with their radio on will be broken into, and control room operators can pass on information through pre-recorded messages or directly over the microphone to advise motorists of what's going on.
Before you even enter the tunnel, they're looking after you. Banks of coloured lights prepare your eyes for the road ahead.
The human eye can adjust quickly going from a dark environment to light, but conversely coming from light into dark, we require this lighting system here.
Brendan, they reckon this is the safest tunnel in Australia. What makes it so safe?
It's a combination of those transport systems that we have. We have operators in our control room here 24/7. We have response crew out on the road again 24/7, similar to the traffic response units, operating tow truck and response utes to provide assistance to motorists should an incident occur in the tunnel, anything from a breakdown to an accident, as well as our smoke duct in the tunnel ceiling. We're the first tunnel in Australia to have a smoke duct in our tunnel ceiling, which allows us to do point extraction of smoke in the event of a fire.
This huge chunk of rock was dug up when they were building the twin tunnels and brought here to Captain Burke Park in Kangaroo Point, brought here as a monument. The tunnels are more than 50 metres straight down there. This is the corresponding point way underground. Immediately above us is about a metre or so of concrete. That's the actual shell of the tunnel. Then above that, there's about 20 metres of really hard Brisbane rock. Then above that, there's the riverbed. Then about 30 metres or so of water. Funny to think all of that is just up there. The payoff is a 5-minute cross-city trip. plain sailing far beneath the Brisbane River.
You'll be able to travel quickly, safely, and as I say, with predictable times. And that will change the way Brisbane works.